Turn my microphone on. Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, July 6th, 2021. Hope all of you had a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. And Fitzy is here, of course, to give us a recap on the weekend regarding how things went from a law enforcement perspective in Barron County. A quick programming note. This Thursday morning, 7th Congressional District Representative Congressman Tom Tiffany will be joining me for our monthly Breakfast with Tiffany show. Former 75th District Representative Romaine Quinn will be joining the show as my co-host for the very first time. So very much looking forward to Thursday. But today is Positive Tuesday. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
How are you? I'm perfect. How are you?
Perfect?
Yeah.
That's the greatest answer I've ever heard. I'm perfect, pretty much. So,
why not?
Yeah. I'm not in a super positive mood this morning, so I need your help.
Well, let's get you in a positive mood.
So I think it was a week or two ago when we started, you asked how I was doing. I said outstanding. It was just one of those days, mornings. Everything was wonderful and awesome. This morning is the opposite. Obviously, after the 4th of July weekend, a little tougher to get up this morning. Some technical issues. Read a very well-crafted hate mail from someone. That was always a nice way to start your morning. And then I get here to the studio, and then just a half an hour ago, my wife calls and says that our Dodge Journey, her vehicle isn't starting. So I don't know anything about vehicles. Like, it's one of those push-button ones. You know, when you get in the car, that's how you turn it on. It's got a key fob, and it's got battery in it. You just push the button, and it starts. Well, there's just nothing. And, like, I don't know anything about those. Do you? Have you ever had a push-button start car?
I have a push button, but no, I don't know nothing about cars, so I'm a bad helper on that.
Yeah, well.
But I can get you in a good mood, though.
Okay. How?
So you were right. And we had a bet on the July 3rd that the fireworks in Shell Lake would start, and I said they'll start after 10 because it's too light out. And you said no, they're going to start before 10, and they started at 9:59.
Yep. And by the way, Mike, and right before we went live, because you just got on like 2 minutes ago, I had said, "No, you got to say something nice about me," because that was our bet. Is it going to be before or after 10 o'clock? And you said after 10. I said before 10. And you said, no, it didn't start at 9:59. But Mike Schaefer was there, Spooner Health CEO. He was also down there at the fireworks in Shell Lake. And as soon as that went off, I looked at my phone, 9:59, and Mike Schaefer confirmed it. So, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Darn it, Mike. He should have stayed in line. He was at the ice cream stand in line.
Yeah.
Buying his family ice cream.
So what was you're supposed to say something, nice about me? What was it? I didn't catch that.
I had to say something. That was something nice that you won the bet. DrydenWire is the best.
All right, that was forced, but that's okay. I'll take it. It put a smile on my face, so that's better.
That's good.
All right, so before we get to anything, we're going to do our trivia question. But we're switching it up a little bit anyway. We're starting over, basically. So now you and I are both going to give each other a trivia question. Mine are going to be regarding DrydenWire, and yours is going to be regarding law enforcement in Barron County. So here's how it works. So you have the potential to get 3 points. So it's not about just getting it right. It's how many points you get. So you get 3 points if you answer without multiple choice options. So just the question alone. You get 2 points if you answer given the 4 multiple choice options, and 1 point if you answer correctly after removing 2 of the multiple choice options. Therefore, it's a 50-50 chance at that point. At any point, if you guess wrong, you lose a point and cannot continue on. So I will starting very, very simple, very easy stuff here.
Okay.
DrydenWire.com launched its website on October 1st of what year? So if you can get that right, you get 3 points. Now remember, if you guess now and get it wrong, or at any point you guess wrong, you'll lose a point. Do you have a trivia question?
I do have a trivia question.
And what is it?
How many members are there at the Barron County Sheriff's Department?
Oh boy, many members. Okay,
I'm guessing. I know yours. Well, I don't know it, but I'm going to take a guess because I want the points.
Okay. Well, give me a second to think about that. But first, you are watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and community to create and support local solutions for local needs. Their goal is to help remove barriers so people can access resources, education, and services to increase financial security. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out on their website at indianheadcaa.org. So you go. Do you want to guess right now, or you? Because
Yes,
you're
I
going to
did.
lose a point if you. If
No,
all right,
I'm not. I'm not going to lose.
all right, what is it?
October 2016.
I should have a buzzer for that. You are incorrect.
Ah, I thought at one point I thought you said 5 years ago.
Yeah, we're this October 1st. It was 2015.
Oh, I was
So
off one
this will
year.
be 6 years. We're in our fifth or whatever that is now. 6 year anniversary will be this October. I told you.
Oh, boy.
So now you just lost one. All right, but that's all right. So your question was how many members? Now that includes.
Everybody. How many members are employed at the sheriff's
Well,
department?
you already lost 1 point, so I want 4 options.
You want 4 options?
Yeah.
Okay. 65 to 70, 71 to 75, 76 to 80, or 80 plus.
That didn't really help.
Well, gave you 4 options.
I'm gonna ask the audience. I'm gonna poll the audience. Does anyone
Hey, that
know
wasn't a choice.
how many about members? Honestly, I thought it was like in the 50s, so I was going to be way off anyway. 65 to 70, 71 to 75. All right, remove 2 of those.
Remove 2.
Yeah.
65 to 70 is gone, and 80 plus is gone.
Oh, all right. I'm going to say 71 to 75.
Nope. The 77. You lost.
Come on. We both are down a point. All right.
Yeah.
This is awesome already. Because the goal was as soon as we get so many points, we'll start doing a giveaway, Amazon gift cards, but it might take us a while to get there. All right.
No one's gonna win nothing.
No. So it was really nice seeing you on Thursday, on the 3rd, on Saturday night in Shell Lake. That was nice. Got to meet your lovely wife, Holly, and one of your children, your daughter, Emma. Got to see Matt, the unofficial of mayor, walking around doing his thing. Obviously,
Looking
Mike.
cool.
Mike Schaefer. That was neat. It was cool seeing Dad down there, not having to, 28 years being the sheriff, he's always there, but now it's in a different capacity. So, yeah, it was a really nice time. It was good to see you. What did you think of the fireworks in Shell Lake?
I thought they were great. I thought they were really good. I thought Chief Wilson did a good job. We got to see Chief Wilson. We have to say his name. No, he did a great job, him and his staff. It's just amazing how we can have an event like that and just be 0 incidents and everybody has a great time and all the traffic in and out. And it's crazy how many people were there. I mean, it was just neat. Fireworks were good. All over, not just Shell Lakes. I went to Chautauqua the next night, and it was just how many boats are on the lake and all this coordinated effort. And they were a minute early, obviously, but that would be the only downfall of the fireworks. But no, it was a good show. Matt's ice cream stand, there's a big line that kids love their ice and their malts, and we had some friends with us, and they went and got ices, and shaved ice is the best.
Yeah, it is.
So,
how's the arm? Give us an update on your arm and your hammy.
I'll be fine. I'm still in the sling. Hopefully, be out of the sling. Hopefully this week maybe, and into some other kind of brace. But hamstrings doing good. A lot less pain this weekend, and
good.
Did some walking around obviously, and that's good for it.
You were. It seemed like you were. Could easily walk around. Oh shoot! So we were supposed to have a guest on this morning. I was going to share it there. There's Darren Vick calling. Yeah, it's supposed to be Darren Vick. I'll call you back later, Darren. Sorry. So yeah, I noticed that you were just walking around. And so your hamstrings seemed to be didn't notice anything.
Right, slight limp, but it's good, and once my elbow heals up, I'll be back at her pretty strong, and got some physical therapy. Another couple weeks of that, should be good to go.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's. I want to talk about obviously the 4th of July in terms of law enforcement, but as always, we like to go over any press releases or articles that we have done. And there was only one over the last week, and it was an article that we published. It was on Quinlan Thomas, and our headline was "Chautauqua man sentenced on meth charges following guilty verdict by jury." And obviously in the article, because it was an update, we like to follow every story to the end. It originally was a press release, I think, from you in 2017.
Yeah, that was a couple years old.
Or 19. So it was quite right. So we really do try to follow everything to the end. So there was a lot of components to that, and then you had another press release about another situation that involved this individual. I don't know if you had a chance to read the article or know much about this, but any thoughts on that article or that situation?
It was a long case. It had to do with, there was some COVID stuff in there for the jury and some other things, and one of the witnesses, I believe it was. So that's why there was some delay. It shouldn't have been that long a delay. There was a delay in that case, and we got a conviction for meth, and I think there's a couple other cases still pending. So can't really talk much about it. I think there'll be some more coming down the road. But he was convicted by the jury of that charge, and our team did a great job. I think there was actually 2 jury trials last week, and I think we won them both. And so the other one was a guy that tampered with our warrant as we were entering the house. He blocked the door, and when we were looking for someone in the house, and he ended up getting convicted of that. So we had a couple jury trials. I think that's one thing about the Barron County court system. Is they're still going, and they're still having jury trials even through COVID. We were one of the only court systems to continue to have jury trials in a safe way. Our courts never closed. Judge Babler and his team, Judge Boyle and Judge Bitney, did a great job of keeping our courts open with our clerk of courts and their staff. They just did a fabulous job of doing all of that. So I hats off to them for keeping that system going. And that didn't get us behind. And cases still take a long time, but a lot of that is lawyers and witnesses and evidence and crime. Yeah, crime lab. I mean, it takes a long time to get some OWI results back from crime labs, things like that. So, yeah.
Are you right now, from at least your knowledge, is the DA's office, is the whole system, starting with law enforcement and everything that you do, and the jail, dispatchers, road deputies, administrators, people working in the office in the building, all the way to the DA's office and the ADA's and everyone involved there, and the judge's office, are we kind of hitting on all cylinders now? We're kind of back to full functioning?
Oh, yeah. I think we are. I still think, I think we are. Yeah. I mean, there's still delays and things, but I don't think it's because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
I don't think and any delay would be a natural delay, whether it was COVID or not COVID.
Well, right. I'm sorry. I should have prefaced it with coming out of the COVID and the safer at home and the masks and the social distancing and things were closed down. Are we past that as of right now in terms of just the whole system down in Barron County?
Yeah. Our jury, when we have a jury trial, they still wear masks inside the courtroom for jury trials, because they're in such close quarters with the jury. The juries, I think they want to wear them. I just think it's just better. Something, I don't know if it's mandated by the courts or not. I don't know the answer to that, but for that they are. But other than that, we're back. I don't want to say we're back to normal, because we never really slowed down in Barron County. We continued with that. But we're hitting on all cylinders. We're all working together. I haven't seen the jail roster this morning because I had to give another talk this morning. I talked to the men's club this morning at 7 about everything. But I have our numbers from the weekend. But no, I think our court system's doing good, and that jury trial, there'll be a few more with that subject's name, I think, coming across, and we'll see what happens. But I'm glad that conviction, I mean, every time we get a conviction from a jury, that's good. That's good police work. That's, because not every case is won, and not every case is charged, and not every case is to our satisfaction.
Exactly. And I think that's a confusion from a lot of people. I know we have had a lot of messages sent to us over the years, upset about certain things, and why isn't law enforcement investigating? I'm like, I don't know, call law enforcement. Or maybe the one that we probably get the most is, why isn't a DA charging? Now, again, I don't know. Call them. But my understanding, because we've had DAs on, we've had judges on this show, we've had ADAs on, and it has to be a prosecutable case, and it has to, we have to assume it's going to go to a jury trial, and that we can win. And if not, we're not going to waste the court's time or anyone else's, so that's why either plea, or maybe that's why we don't even charge. There are so many different reasons as to why it doesn't go that way, and my heart goes out to him because it's like, yeah, I get it. That's your thing right now, and that's what you're going through, and therefore you're a little myopic, and you think that's the most important, and why isn't that happening? But I mean, you have to kind of see the bigger picture, I think, but why spend all those resources and taxes and time if, like, I'm looking at this going, there's no way we're going to win this case. So that's a waste. Yeah.
Right, and we do the same thing. Law enforcement gets frustrated all the time, and we get frustrated with the DA's office or the judges for when we think we have a slam dunk case and the judge finds the person not guilty, or the DA didn't charge like we wanted to charge. I mean,
sure.
Sometimes you take risks, sometimes you don't, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. I mean, we try to do everything, but once it leaves law enforcement hands and goes to the district attorney, I don't have a say in it.
Right, just so people understand that, because I think most people do, but for people that don't, that is the process. Law enforcement takes reports, does their thing, they file it all together, and I'm assuming, let's say one of your deputies or investigators, you or your chief deputy, at least that's what it was. I know when Dad was there, and I know that's how it is with Chief Wilson. If someone else is doing it, you have to review it and sign off on this, and then you submit it to the DA. And at that point, it's, well, we'll answer any questions that they have, but it's out of our hands at that point. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes law enforcement kind of gets, ripped down a little bit, or I don't know. I think everybody kind of does, but to understand how the system works, I think is important.
Yeah, it's frustrating on our end. We want to serve everybody we can, and sometimes you can't to the benefit that they want, and but they also always look at that. If this went to a jury trial, would we win? I mean, it's probably taken me 20 years to understand that, but. And because I always don't agree with that theory. Yeah. If it went to a jury trial, because everybody has the right. If I write you a ticket for jaywalking, you have the right to a jury trial.
I know, that's crazy to think about that.
Yeah. And so, can I win this if it goes to a jury trial? And that's what they always look at. That, and sometimes I think, man, sometimes we should take a risk, and sometimes they do take the risk, and we lose. Yep. You look at the case with the murder in Elmina she was found not guilty. And I think, that's they took a chance on that, or they did it and they were found not guilty. And that's a lot of law enforcement work went into that. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating. So I get it.
And we get a lot of things. People ask, how come we don't follow through with the stories of people that were not guilty or cases were dismissed? And we do. And if there is something that we have missed, and we track every single story that we've ever published, and we always keep updating our CCAP and looking at all the notes. And most times it's just a motion that's filed, and I'm not going to do a story just on a motion that was filed. But if we've missed one, please let me know. Otherwise, I believe every single one we've ever done, which is over 1,000, we have done updates and followed it through to the end. Some of them just haven't gotten finished yet. I think I'm still tracking around 200 of them that we have done. Or if you send out a press release, well, that goes on the list, and I got to follow that. So it's kind of a long process for us as well. But
that's a lot of work too.
Every morning, it's a pain. Vicky had a question. I think that's in Barron County or Washburn County. I have no idea if there's an update or progress. I should say. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't think there is. It's been a lot of years. I mean, we highlighted that case a little bit during the Kloss case as much as we could, and we're there to support that. Yeah. Just never give up hope, and hopefully if somebody says something or hears something and follows up on something. But anybody that information to call Washburn County, that would be it.
We just put something up from Polk County yesterday. Similar situation. They were a missing person, and we did a story. I think we had a live press conference on that. Right. And I was talking to Sheriff Walk over the weekend about it, just trying to get a couple quotes from him, because now that another family member has another person that was missing. And I mean, that's just me. I'm going, well, that's interesting. But I'd have I mean, it's wildly unfortunate, and hopefully we can find some of these people. On a side note, real quick, while I was talking with Sheriff Walk, he had made sure he stated, I watched your Politically Speaking show with Adam and Patty, and Patty had said something about that she was talking to me and said about gun crimes and gun stuff, that we need to enforce the laws. And Sheriff Walk said, I think I kind of want to correct that I didn't say enforce the laws. We need to have those prosecuted when it comes to guns. It's not law enforcement. It's we need to see our DAs. In just that was our conversation. The overarching theme was not seeing a lot of individuals that are illegally possessing firearms getting charged for that. Have you seen that, or are you concerned about that?
No, I don't see that. Actually, that was a question I got asked this morning at Men's Club is what do I think of the conceal and carry law and how many people have been, violated the conceal and carry law? And I don't know of any people that have violated the conceal and carry law that we know of. I'm sure people maybe don't have a permit, but we don't know that they have a gun. So, I mean, unless they get arrested for something else.
Right.
So I just think I don't think there's a lot of gun violations out there. I don't think there is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong too, but
Right.
I don't think there is. And I just don't see that being an issue around here.
Okay.
So
let's get to our weekend recap numbers or information.
Sure.
I have nothing written down in terms of questions about it because I didn't know what you wanted to talk about. So tell us how the weekend went from a law enforcement perspective in Barron County.
Well, obviously it was a very busy weekend for travel, traffic, everything, and I just got to commend both our officers and the public that we had no major incidents over the weekend, both on the water, on the roads. I mean, no major crashes. I mean, that's just all that traffic, going one direction and the other direction, and both Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, Monday. It was great. I mean, we were steady. Our guys didn't take a lot of breaks, but on the boat, we had both. Our boat goes on the water, and then a DNR boat is on the water. These are just our numbers, not the DNR boat. We were on Chetek, which is the biggest lake in the county. We had a boat on Cumberland on the 4th, but just on Chetek alone, we had 41 stops on Friday, 47 stops or contacts on Saturday.
I'm sorry, how many on Saturday?
47.
Okay.
And then 66 on Sunday. And we worked about 12 hours. And that's not 12 hours straight, but he was scheduled about a 12-hour shift. He took breaks and ate and got gas in the boat and filled up. And we had 5 OWIs over the weekend. Now that included the DNR numbers on the OWI part, but not on the contacts. But,
okay, so just 5 of the boat. That's it, right? Not like traffic.
5 on the boat.
Okay,
no,
so
we had
5.
We had a few on the roads, but not many. I mean, for a 3-day busy weekend, I didn't think we had a lot of OWIs. I think we had I want to say 4, but don't quote me on that.
Sure.
There wasn't that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. 4 is a lot, but it's not as many when you compare the number of cars on the road.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at that. Then that's 154 over 3 days of contacts, and 5. That would be just a hair worth, about 3%.
Right.
Obviously, you want that number to be 0. Duh. But I don't know how to ask this. Are you okay with 3%? And I know that sounds horrible because you want it to be 0. But when you see 3%, 5 out of 154 contact, is that I'll take that. Right? That's okay. It was better than last year, or is it heading in the right direction?
And really, it's over that because I don't count the DNR contacts, but I counted their OWI. So it's actually way more than 154 contacts.
Okay.
And so, I mean, when you look at their total contacts into that number, it'll be more. They weren't on there I don't think as long as we were, but I don't know that answer. But yes, I agree. And in talking with our recreational deputy, he was very pleased with that. A lot of the boats he had contact with, there were some intoxicated people on the boat, but the driver only had 1 drink or 0 drinks, and there was a designated driver. And he gave credit to a lot of the establishments on Chetek were pushing that. Like, hey, come have fun with us, but make sure you have somebody driving your boat. We're out on the boat patrolling, watching for violations, and so he was very pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. He told me that the establishments, the bars, the restaurants did a very good job of promoting safety over the weekend. So hats off to all those, in Chetek businesses, did a good job. Yeah. So, I think that's really, really good. A lot of our violations, right?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Were people riding on the front of the boat, when it was hot out, people were sitting out on the front of the pontoon. We did a safety message on Friday from a victim from last year. She sent us a message, a one-on-one message to people saying, don't ride on the front of the boat, even if you're going 1 mile an hour, because you get sucked in on a wave and you're under the boat instantly. So, so a lot of that, we had some of those violations.
And you talked about that last Tuesday. About that, people don't know that part of it. That anything.
And she did
Sorry.
She did a story, a one-on-one story for us, and we put that on her Facebook
Oh, I didn't
on
see that
Friday.
one.
Yeah,
I should go to your
it
page
was
more
1
often.
minute. Yeah, you should every day.
See, now if those people listened to our show last week, they would not have gotten that ticket because they
Right,
would have already
and
known.
yeah, we gave a lot of if you had life jackets, and we gave away some free donuts and free pops at Quick Trip.
Aw,
It supplied us with some free giveaways. So
cool.
so we did a lot of positive things too. We just don't go out there and give tickets. So it was a very good weekend. I'm very pleased. I didn't. My phone didn't ring once in the middle of the night. It was great. Our people did a great job. I mean, it was a long, hot weekend. It's hot when you're wearing that vest and everything for 12 hours and dealing with call from call to call. But they did a great job. Our staff, the public did a good job. There wasn't a ton of fireworks calls. There was a few of them, but not as many as I thought that we would get. Everybody did a great job. Everybody was safe.
Yeah, I was surprised. I went through the call logs that I mean, it's not like you send them to me. It just automatically, they get sent out to media.
It goes to all the media.
Yep, all the media. So I rarely look at them, but over the weekend I wanted to just kind of check them out a little bit. And I was surprised that you didn't have more fireworks calls.
Mm-hmm.
I really was.
I was too. I was too. I agree with that. So I think it was a great weekend. And again, my job is to make sure all 78 people go home safe at the end of the shift.
Oh,
And they
see,
all
I was
did.
just going to say 76 to 80. Congratulations to all 76 to 80. So 78. Yeah, I'm marking that down.
I'm not asking that again. I already got next week's in my head now. I'm really good.
Oh, my God. I got my next is 7 or 8 done. So.
Oh, okay. I got to get going then. But no, it was a good weekend. I mean, all the people, all the PDs. I mean, we were up in Shell Lake talking to Chief Wilson, and I mean, there's a lot of people that you shove into Shell Lake, and
every time we say Wilson's name,
we're gonna get us a ding.
He gets a wing or something. Yeah, just a ding. He gets one of those. Yeah, every time. But I talked to him the next day on Sunday and asked how did it go Saturday night, and he said actually pretty well. It really did, and. Dad, when he was down there, and of course we were talking, but by the way, that was so cool to see you and Dad just chatting. I mean, it was just really, really cool to see. I mean, that was 60-some years of law enforcement experience and 40-some as sheriffs. That was really neat just to see, because I think he's been on once or twice on the show, but to see the two of you just in outside of work, obviously Dad's retired now, but just chatting, I don't know. It was really neat to see. But anyway, Dave said on Sunday that it was good. I mean, it was an extraordinarily large crowd, but I don't know what it was. I asked him, what would you attribute the pretty much peaceful evening? I mean, there wasn't anything crazy. Don't really know. Don't really have the answer as to what that was. So can you contribute anything to it was a pretty nice weekend?
I was happy to be out. It was on a weekend, so everybody was normally probably off. A lot of businesses did close, like the 3rd, 4th, 5th, to give their employees a break. I think everybody's done really good with, kind of a reward for pre-COVID or, post-COVID, I guess is what it would be. So I think people were just happy to be out. It was beautiful weather, and they didn't want to wreck it by doing something dumb.
Yeah.
And, we really promote that. We went into prevention, hey, if you're going to get arrested, there's no court on Friday or on Monday, so you're going to sit an extra day. So, I mean, I don't know what our jail roster is. I'll look here in a second, but I don't think it's real huge. So, I mean, that's just a really good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that. So COVID, I just think people wanted out. They wanted to be really good, and I think we did good.
And it was a gorgeous night, at least in Shell Lake on Saturday night. What? I mean, what a perfect night. And I do want to just say thank you. Obviously, my brother, Matt, I'm very biased on my brother, Matt, of course, but he put a lot of time, energy, and effort into getting this fireworks show up and going to make it free for everyone to attend, and the street dance. I remember when I was younger, you had to buy a wristband just to get into that. Obviously, Dave Wilson and law enforcement, Washburn County, the Shell Lake Police Department, and as well as the Shell Lake Fire Department, because I think they're kind of the ones that people forget about, especially the chief there, how much work they went into with this barge and firing them off on Shell Lake. He and Ben, they did an amazing job. It took a lot of people. And I'm sure, you're going to get some complaints, but I haven't really received any complaints about the show. Obviously, last year it was canceled. The year before, they moved it for the right reasons, but it wasn't, it was conceived well, but it wasn't received well. It was at the airport or something. So they made some changes, and now it's the first time you could sit right down by the water. It was out on the barges, and I asked Dave if he had heard any, if I asked Chief Wilson if he had heard any complaints about it, and he's like, well, you're always going to get a few, like, they should have been taller, and should have been. I mean, still, everyone went home safely. The people that were firing them off, no crazy people, no huge fights. These are the kind of places that you want to be able to take your kids and your family to.
Right.
And when you put fireworks next to a whole bunch of people drinking in a street dance type thing, there could be some issues. So great.
Right.
Hats off to everyone that was involved in Shell Lake for what they did. I can't speak
And
to Barron
everywhere.
County, but in Shell Lake, I can speak to that.
I can. I mean, I heard good reviews on all the fireworks across the county. I've heard, I'm looking at a jail roster. There's 5 people on the jail roster from a 3-day weekend on a busy weekend. That's nothing. That's a typical that we have more on a regular weekend sometimes. So I think that's great. I think people did a good job. They wanted to go out, be with their families, friends they hadn't seen for a long time. And maybe this is good. I mean, this is what we needed, people to realize what they're missing and just to enjoy life and have fun. And, little things make a big difference. So
yes, they do. Hold on. Chelsea had a question. I assume that means the Polk County one. Yeah, the first one is Rosemary Bly, and then I think Summer Wells is now the 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So those are those two. Yeah. Brian, that was awfully nice for you to say. It's always nice. Seriously, I love doing these shows, even if we don't have, we only had one thing to really talk about that we wrote down was 4th of July recap. And now it's been 30 minutes. So I love doing
people are tired of us.
Yeah. All right.
And that's just what, why we started this show. I mean, we keep going back to this, and people just need a little bit of, we just got to enjoy life, not take it so seriously. We've just got to have a little fun. And I take it seriously too much sometimes, and you do too. And it's just not as bad as it could be. Even my injury, I mean, some of my shoulder or my elbow is injured. You know what? There's worse people off than me, and I'll recover. And it's just, it's good to know. I'm glad I'm the one that hurt, because I wouldn't want it to be one of my people. I'll take the injury over one of my people. But it also shows that law enforcement is not all this fun and games. I mean, people get hurt. People can get hurt, and it's tough. And so that's why we train and have equipment and do different things. And that's what we've always tried to show on this show. Besides the positivity, we want to give law enforcement, a different platform to talk about and people to ask us questions and do whatever. So that's why we do this. And no, we don't have a lot to talk about today. But I just want to thank everyone for the great 4th of July. I mean, it's a big weekend. It's stressful as a leader in law enforcement, and you don't want to get a call of a traffic accident or something bad one happened, or, I think we had one fire over the weekend. I heard it was maybe a firework related fire. I don't know that for a fact yet, but
sure. But no fatalities, because I haven't received anything from anyone. Yeah.
I don't even know if we had I'm sure we had a crash, but I don't think we had a serious car.
Right.
I mean,
they're all serious, but I know what you mean. Right.
Right. But I'm sure there was a crash, but this morning, our boat guy is out on Red Cedar. There was a boat crash this morning on Red Cedar. 2 boats hit each other. I don't want to say they crashed into each other, but they hit each other. No one's hurt. Both boats are on shore. Nothing sank. And he's up there doing a report this morning. So maybe it was 2 fishermen that crashed. I don't know. One must have been a good fishing spot they both wanted to get to, and they crashed. No, I don't know. So, but no one's hurt. We can have fun with something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. But we had no boat crashes over the weekend. I mean, all those boats, you put them on the lake, whether it's Shell Lake or Rice Lake, Cumberland, Beaver Dam.
I mean, the odds of that. Someone's just gonna. So
at night, especially, you think about all those boats that are on these lakes at fireworks time, and it ends and everybody starts their engines and goes at the same time, So, and look at all the cars that left Shell Lake and all the Chautauqua. And I mean, it was just crazy how, and I saw the Chautauqua cop out directing traffic to help people get out of different intersections, and it's 85 degrees out in their vest and their uniform, and they're out directing traffic so you can get home quicker.
And safely.
We got to appreciate those little things. Because everybody's like, oh, it's taking me so long. I'm like, we're doing all we can to get you home faster, safely, and hats off to all those law enforcement people that worked all weekend.
Yeah. You had mentioned that, we take our jobs obviously seriously. I tell you, there's only one time, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, got a very lovely hate mail this morning. But they were just wrong. So those don't bother me. Like, there is such thing as an opinion being wrong. Right? Like the sun, it's my opinion. The sun revolves around the earth. Nope, that's wrong. Actually, well, it's just my opinion. Yes, but it's wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. That's how it is. That's the only time it gets to me is when they're stating an opinion as a fact and it is not factual. Going after our integrity or how or why we do certain things. That's the only time, man. I get just fired up, and usually I gotta, call my wife. She takes a break from work and calls and settles me down. That stuff just lights a fire under me. Man, you can't go after that. You may not like some of the things that we do or how we do it. That's fine. I get it. But man, you start challenging that. I get fired up, dude.
Well, just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean it's wrong. I mean, I think Colin Powell said that.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean it's the wrong answer.
Right there. I love it. I'm going to remember that. We should put that on the shirt. Oh, I got to keep working on the shirts. I forgot. Just because.
Those poor people that want to order shirts. Somebody asked about a question about incidents on the trails. We didn't spend a ton of time on the trails because there was a lot more boat traffic than trail traffic, but I don't know of it. There was a four-wheeler accident. I talked to Chief Ambrositis in Chetek. He did have one four-wheeler or UTV accident, but there was no injury or very minor injury. That was the only incident I know about on the trails, and that was self-inflicted. I think he went up a hill and rolled it. I don't know what he was doing. If they were having fun or whatever they were doing, but no incident on the trails that I'm aware of. There won't be any room on our shirts. I know.
Yeah, I know. I just need to get it done so we can just move on from that. Yeah. Also, I want to say one last thing. It was so cool to see, or hopefully, at least again, I was just in the Shell Lake one, seeing just people, people back out again. I know that was the first time I'd been to a really public thing in a couple of years, like outside, tons of people, and it was just really neat seeing. And hopefully, our small town businesses, it was a boom for them as well, because 4th of July weekend's big, man. And as we know, sometimes 80% of your business comes in just a few months in these small town businesses. So hopefully that was a big boost for their businesses, because we can't keep losing small town businesses.
No, and I hope people were respectful, because Chetek did a neat thing and said something like, your food's going to take longer, so if you really want your food fast, go to McDonald's. But if you want to have fun and have good food, you might be a little bit of a wait, because we're short-staffed and we're really busy. And so be respectful of your waiters or whoever. I mean, just realize it's going to take you longer because of there's not a lot of people looking for jobs, or there's more jobs than less people, or whatever it is. So, and we could get into a huge debate on that, but just be respectful of those. The waitress isn't sitting back there wondering, I should just wait 5 more minutes to deliver this guy's hamburger. She wants to get done with work too.
I'm watching Wimbledon. I got time for delivery.
Just wait. It's almost halftime. I'll deliver that in a second.
Yeah,
so,
I'm pretty sure that's
what do you predict the Bucks tonight? What do you think?
I don't care about the Bucks. This is like the dumbest NBA Finals. I'm not going to watch any of it. I don't like the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. I don't care.
Now you're going to get hate mail, man.
From whom? Yeah. So who do I for the series or for just the first game?
No, the series.
Well, I'm going to go Phoenix just because we don't know the status of the Greek Freak. He's out tonight, I believe, but they've won 2 games without him. So they almost seem to play better as a team without him, which is weird.
I think they should rest him tonight. Don't push him. Let's see what happens. If they get blown out, then you got to bring him back. But try to win it without him, because that just gives him another couple of days of rest. So I'm glad he's out. I mean, I think the Bucks win in 6, but we'll see.
All right, I'll take Phoenix in 7.
Okay, deal.
All right, anything else going on?
I don't think so. Are we doing a show next week?
No, I was just going to mention that in my why did you have to ruin it for me?
Okay, we're off next week. I'm trying to plan. It's the fair, Barron County Fair next week. So everybody come out to the Barron County Fair. We'll be out there all day, every day.
Wait, isn't the rodeo? We put the Spooner ad up and it said rodeo.
Spooner Rodeo's next weekend, right? Or
This
this weekend.
coming up weekend.
Yeah, this weekend, Spooner Rodeo.
Yeah, go to that. Don't go to the Barron County Fair. Go to
No,
Washburn
the
County.
Barron
Bring
County
your money
Fair is
here.
not this weekend.
Nope.
Barron County Fair is next week.
For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm
you're going to get hate mail.
Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out at their website at indianheadcaa.org. Fitzy and I are off next Tuesday from the show, not like work. So we can air Mom's Diane's Kitchen Show. I think she's going to have Chris Thompson, business person here in Spooner, on for a show. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and I believe we have scheduled just yesterday, tentatively, Spooner Health CEO Mike Schaefer will be on for a guest in 2 weeks. So until then, stay safe, stay positive, and as always, hey, have a blessed day.